Everyone, and I hope that you're enjoying the meeting so far. And it's a wonderful opportunity for our membership around the world to be here without having to leave their own living rooms, which I think is amazing. Now, for those of you who have not met me before, I am the editor of the magazine. I'm also temporarily the joint honorary chairman of the society with Howard Dalton. But my main task tonight is to introduce myself as the editor of the magazine. Now, this is our principal conduit of information between the members, and it's something which I always push quite hard. And I know we've got the website, which is excellent and helps people put up a lot more stuff than we can possibly put in a magazine. But I think there's something about a printed booklet which is, to my mind, perpetual. What I'm always looking for, of course, is more articles, in particular a variety of articles and pictures for the next issue. And of course, the next one I shall have to start assembling in a few weeks' time. Now, notice I said it's our journal, not my journal. This is a journal for all the society members. We are the ones who contribute to it. I happen to assemble what it is you send me. So without your contributions, I have nothing to put together. There's something I particularly like to see more of, and it should be fairly easy to do. And a good example of it was Karen Preston's piece in the last issue, where she got a handful of family photographs, so we're not talking about a large collection, and had written short descriptions which connected the photographs together. And on the space of 2 pages, she got a mini family history published for members to see. Will be kept for perpetuity in the research in the libraries around the world that keep copies for copyright reasons, or in the case of the Allen Public Library in Indiana and the LDS Library in Utah. Now, you don't have to restrict yourself to 2 pages. You could go deeper, which is something I did many years ago. After my father died, I wrote a short biography of him, and that was published back in volume 21 and 22. So you've got a choice. Or you can have a deeper research piece, maybe a piece that's been published by another magazine elsewhere, because we can usually get permission to publish these again in our magazine. We did that last time with James Clump's article, which I thought was a superbly researched piece of work. I was very pleased to be able to print it. Now, what I might also mention is how things have moved on since the very early days when Michael Neil Dalton, first of all, started a family history circular for his own family. And this was half a century ago, believe it or not. And he put together a little handbook, which he circulated just to the members of his own family. And he did this all by hand. First of all, he had to type up all the pieces. And this is an example of one of his pages, which involved quite a lot of work. And then we've got an example of a family tree, which he again hand drew very neatly, I might add. And of course, he had the good fortune to be able to be working in computing at the time. And whilst in those days we didn't have desktop computers, they hadn't even been thought of. They were still the size of a room. So you had a card index, and this is an example of one of his card index pages. And from that, he produced, because he had the connection to do so, a punched card. Now, you only see these in museums, as David Preston pointed out to me these days. But he ended up with these, and that produced this family tree list, not a family tree as laid out as we understand it these days, but just a list of names and essential dates. And that involved what was in those days a large amount of computing power. And now we can do 1,000 times more than this on a little desktop that you can drop in a briefcase. But it comes back to the same thing. The research still has to be done by the people on the ground, in the libraries, on things like Find My Past and Ancestry. It still depends on you, the members, doing your bit and sending your bits to me for the magazine. Thank you for listening.